tell you what, that music takes me right back to 2011. My cam's not working, and I'm not sure why. That's not a very good start. We shall have to see what is going on with that. Let us try and activate the camera. It's not working. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with there. So I'm going to talk to you while I reach over the back of my computer and have a look, see what I'm doing wrong. Meanwhile, I'll bring up that as well. Look at that. Oh, we get to listen to the music all over again. So let's have a gander as to why my camera isn't working, shall we? Thank you very much for joining me tonight anyway. It's a pleasure as always to have you here. Let's just unplug that. I'll just plug it in somewhere else hopefully and it'll work. Let's see if that works, shall we? Yeah, so this is episode 3 or 4. I can't remember. Missy's done all of the what's this? Right, let's remove the camera. Let's see if we can add another one. Let's have a look. Video source. Where are we looking for? Here we go. It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh no, Missy, what have you done to me today? Episode 4. Well, we're just shooting our way through these, aren't we? Let's create a new one. Let's have a look, see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, let's add that one. There we are. Let's slide that down there. There we go. I have no idea what's happened there. And yeah, so episode 4, and I'm currently on session number 2. So with that in mind, let us get started on our last save game. So last I left off, my D&D party had finished escaping from Helgen, and they had made their way to Riverwood, and I told them that they had to take a long rest. Now, I'm hoping to get session 2 over and done with today in this particular episode, because I am going to be playing session 1 this weekend with my family, so we need to see if we can get it sorted out. So yeah, I want to get this done and get episode 2 out of the way. We've got a lot to cover. So with that being said, I will, now that after all the usual technical issues are out of the way, let me say thank you very much for joining me. I am Bases of Operations, and this is Terraforming Games. Thank you very much for joining me. And we will carry on turning Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, into a 5th edition D&D campaign. I have everything set up to go, and we're just going to get cracking on with it. Currently on the list, we have to go and talk to Gerda in Riverwood, because I chose to follow Rayloff, and I hope that my party will do the same. I have also created a prop that you may have seen on my Instagram. I made a prop for a bounty. There's my folder. Hang on, where's my folder gone? I don't know where my folder is. If you haven't seen it, you can check out my Instagram and you can see it. Where I made the bounty letter for them to go and locate the bandit leader at Halted Stream Camp, which is kind of a little side quest for them to do, but they can't do it yet because Halted Stream Camp is north of Whiterun. Visit the Shrine of Azura, we haven't touched on that really yet. I don't even know where we picked that one up. Oh, I think that was because of things that they were talking to when I did having a chat with the bartender, as well as talking to Aventus Arentino in Winterhold. Again, it's not something that they can do yet, but it's just a piece of information. Laying those stones, that one specifically, if you played Skyrim before, you know that he is trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood to kill Gertrude or something over in Riften. So we'll see if my party ever even finds out about that during the course of their campaign. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you very much, Kelvin, for throwing up that link. That's the prop, the bounty for Hot String Camp. Thank you very much for that. It's very much appreciated. So, in this episode, I am hopefully going to get cracking on having a chat with Gerda, continuing that story about what we want to do for Whiterun, or about heading off to Whiterun to talk to the Jarl and get the main quest underway. But I'm also going to see if I can start laying in some templates and some groundwork for my party to deviate from the main quest, specifically talking to the guy from the Riverwood Trader who's been robbed, so that they can start the Bleakfall's Barrow. Whether they pick up the quest and do it, or whether they want to, whether they end up going to Whiterun and getting a quest to go back to Bleakfall's Barrow to get the Dragonstone. Again, as always, I should have said this before, but spoiler warning for the entire Skyrim campaign, because, you know, if you haven't played it already, you know, sorry. So yeah, we're gonna get cracking on with that, and hopefully, you know, see if we can start laying out some groundworks, because of course Skyrim is all based about fighting dragons, and my party is still currently level 1 and they don't want to start fighting dragons just yet. So hopefully they can have plenty of side quests so that they can level up before they decide to go and fight that first dragon near the watchtower in Whiterun. So we're going to get cracking on today. We have, as far as the game is concerned, my party will have finished. They would have finished a long rest in the bar. I'm not going to do anything of this. I am going to put everything in there, just because I'm not going to be doing a lot of. I'm going to be doing a lot of hand-to-hand fighting just to get rid of the combat. So I'm not really playing it to maximise this. This, on the other hand, is killing the leader at the bandit camp. Yeah, so that is pointing me to go kill the bandit camp leader. We don't want to do that right now, so we can turn that off. What we can do is we can go and talk to Gerda in Riverwood. Again, let me just bring up very, very quickly my notes from last week. Let us bring up my notes. That is the Skyrim wiki. We don't need to worry about that. Let me bring up the notes here, because as you may have remembered, I put this in here about giving the players that control. You know, so far they have been completely railroaded from Helgen. My party was completely railroaded. You know, I didn't want them to get any kind of delusions that they could actually fight the dragon. As well as, you know, we needed to move them out of Helgen so that it can be destroyed, and so on and so forth, and they've been railroaded all the way down to Riverwood. So this was kind of the first chance that they had. If you remember from last week's episode, I have told them that when they arrive in Riverwood, somewhere along here, they're here, the businesses are closed because the sun has set. I didn't want them to just arrive at Riverwood, talk to Gerda, and then move straight on again. I want them to have the ability to feel that they are in control of the game and that they can explore the space that they have. And the very simple way of doing that, especially for DMs who don't know how to do that, and I just noticed that my camera's not working on here either, so let me just quickly throw on my camera here. Hello. Yeah, so if you're new to DMing and so on and so forth, there are simple ways that you can give your party the feeling that they're in control of the game, is by actually controlling it behind the scenes. So for them to arrive in a new location where it's nighttime, it forces them to either camp outside of the city or go and find somewhere to rest, and that will literally give you the opportunity to tell your party, here is a town, what do you want to do? Likewise, once I've told them that they've seen an inn and they can go into the inn, he's going to have, you know, there is a little vignette where he's going to be talking when they arrive, but making sure that I remind myself that, you know, even though I'm telling a story and that we're going to be doing it, that I'm telling a story and you're playing through this story is this joint story, and that they can have the opportunity to talk to each other, as well as, of course, this whole section about them talking to the NPCs around them. Likewise, what I'm also going to do is at this point here, I am also going to copy this, because I'm lazy and I don't want to type it all out, here. So, excuse me, after the party has completed, whoops, I cannot spell, completed their long rest, allow the players time to roleplay with each other before heading out of the inn into the morning sun, or whatever, just something. I don't want to put Sunday, I just want to put sun. Again, that would give my players the time to say, you know, that they, you know, because I want my parties to feel that they're in a real world. And when was the last time you woke up, went downstairs, had breakfast and left without saying a word? So giving the party time to wake up, role play some coffee drinking perhaps, and so on and so forth. Let's have a look at the chat while I'm here. His prop looks ace. Well, thank you very much. Good day today. It's Faye's birthday, so after work we're going to be gaming. Oh, happy birthday, Faye. Thank you very much for being here before then. 19 minutes to go. All right. Yeah, happy birthday today, and Faye, thank you. There we go. All right, so yeah, I'm going to give my players time to role play so that, you know, they don't wake up in the morning and what have you. So once they've done that, we can now begin bullet pointing. If the players are struggling to decide what to do next, gently remind them about Gerda, or Gerda, or whatever her name is. I cannot remember this woman's name. Oh yeah, it's an E. There we go. Traditional TMP birthday song, please. I am not singing happy birthday. Feel free to sing happy birthday, but I do not sing happy birthday. Okay, so what we're going to do, where do the players' interactions go? How do you mean, where do they go? Or what do you mean by that? It sounds like a really good question, but I'm not 100% sure where you what you mean. So what we're going to do now is, while I wait for that and I can answer that question, we are going to go and find Gerda. Oh, are you going to see them on stream? Well, not this particular game, because this particular game that I am setting up is a home game that I'm running for my family, and we'll be playing that off stream. If it all goes well, the TMP are very much twisting my arm to run this as a D&D campaign on stream, similar to the Horde of the Dragon Queen game that we currently have. So we'll see how that plays out. But if you follow along to this...
Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling you.
Oh, there we go, look at that. That was an interesting thing, I missed that. I will have a look at that in a second. What will happen is, as we play on, as I build this campaign, now my players are going to be playing this game for the first time on Saturday this weekend. I don't think it's going to be a weekly thing, thankfully, because I need time to play through this and write out everything. But if you tune into this game, you can get updates as I play, because of course what my players do. I mean, I could write the entire. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I have the Skyrim playbook, and essentially this is enough if you really want to play a D&D campaign. But I want to kind of limit myself from having to flick through this entire book to creating session notes that my players have decided. So, as anybody knows who plays Skyrim, your quest log gets huge really quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and, for the first couple of games, I need to kind of stretch out and kind of see which branch they decide to grab. But then obviously as they make those decisions, I will obviously concentrate on those when I'm playing, so that you guys at home will be able to see what choices were made, and you come along and join me as I kind of build the rest of the campaign around it, and possibly coming back to things that they have missed, to help pad out their higher level explorations, so that we can try and, you know, level out some of these, you know, because I mean Skyrim is so easy. I mean, if you play Skyrim for the first time, you can play through the main story quest in a couple of hours, even from, you know, from Helgen to Alduin at the end is, you know, you can play that in a few hours and you'll be able to do it. Whereas obviously if you're playing D&D, that's just never going to happen. Alduin's an ancient black dragon and you need to be at least level, what, 15? Maybe even higher to actually be able to deal with him. So yeah, I need to pad out their journey. So that is what we're going to do here. That's an interesting thing here, and I do need to talk to Sven actually, but I think we need to do that after we talk to Gerda in the morning. So what we're going to do is we are going to wait until hang on, what are we doing? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I think would be a reasonable time to get up and out of bed, and then perhaps they can talk to Gerda, who is over here. Here she is. So let us have a talk
New to
with
Riverwood?
Gerda.
If you're looking for work, go see Hod at the mill.
I don't want to go see Hod. I need to talk to you, love.
Lucan over in the Riverwood Traders says thieves broke into his store. Strange. He says they hardly took anything. It's my mill. Some folks thinks it's my town too, but it ain't. The Jarl in Whiterun owns the land and the town. I just pay the taxes.
Why is it not telling me?
Cross the river and then head north. You'll see Whiterun on its hill as you pass the falls.
Okay. Alright, so basically what's happened here.
Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll take those. I don't need that.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
There we go.
I'm glad to help any way I can.
Okay. Let's just read some of this
Jarl
here.
Balgruuf? I don't mean to be disrespectful, as he's ruled Whiterun Hold well for years, but he seems in over his head now. He's been trying to stay out of the war, but it can't last. He's going to have to pick a side. I'm afraid he's going to make the wrong choice. I wouldn't say that. But he and Ulfric have been at odds for years, and I'm afraid Balgruuf will end up siding with the Empire because of it. But it's hard to believe that even Balgruuf would choose Elisif over Ulfric. I suppose she's Jarl Elisif now. She married High King Turig just before Ulfric killed him. The Empire supports her claim to be High Queen. I don't really have anything against her. Not her fault that her husband Turig was bought and paid for by the Empire. But she's nothing but a puppet for the Empire now, with her husband Turig dead. Ulfric will make sure she never takes the throne as High Queen.
So I'm going through these now.
Some
But
say
we
murder.
can.
but it was a lawful challenge.
There's something I'm
in
going
the
to show
old
you when
way.
I've done this.
Ulfric called him out as a traitor to Skyrim and killed him in single combat. If Tori couldn't defend his throne, he had no business being High King. No, not until the moot meets to choose another, and it won't meet until one side or the other wins the war. Don't worry though. Ulfric is our rightful High King. He'll drive out the Empire, and Skyrim will have peace at last. The Empire may have been good for Skyrim once upon a time, but those days are long past. Banning the worship of Talos was the last straw. Thalmor everywhere, dragging people off for honoring our own gods. I'm glad Ralof is helping drive them out of here. If I was a bit younger, I might have joined the fight myself.
And join the Stormcloak Rebellion, there we go. Oh, and there we go.
And by supplies, I suppose you mean weapons and armor? Alvor can help you out. He's our blacksmith.
There we go. Alright.
Aye.
So, let me just have a show. We had a bit of a chat with Gerda there, but it was all very quickly, and we kind of missed something that would have happened if we'd have come straight to Riverwood from Helgen, as opposed to going to the inn and wait until night time, and so on and so forth. So, let me bring up Skyrim and bring up Gerda. Now, this is the fandom. It's the Skyrim wiki. Alright, and here we have Gerda's wiki page, which is what I was looking at beforehand in the past. And what happens here is if we scroll down, it will tell you all the things about her, but will also tell you about what has just been said here. What can you tell me about Riverwood? Do you have any supplies I can take? How do I get to Whiterun from here? What can you tell me about the Jarl? And so on and so forth. But she also has a conversation. If you follow Ralof straight away from Helgen into Riverwood, you get this conversation here. Okay? Which is quite interesting, because this tells us some talk about what's going on, about various other bits and pieces, about what happened in Helgen and so on. So I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to copy and paste this entire conversation here. This is the entire conversation that you can get from following Ralof all the way to Riverwood from Helgen. And I just pressed the wrong button. Hang on a second. Bring this up here. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to put in when the party approach Gerda, Ralof is also approaching her at the same time. Then what we can do here is we can post this entire conversation here. I really don't want that to be black, so hopefully I can reformat that. Maybe we can remove any highlighting. Is that going to help? There we go. And we can also make it all black so that we don't have to worry about so we've got text color. No, I don't want it red, I want it black. There we go. There we are. So now what we have is Ralof says, Gerda, Maris Mas, it's good to see you, but but is it safe for you to be here? And he repeats it, Gerda, because obviously he's worried. We had heard that Ulfric had been captured. I'm fine, at least for now I am. Are you hurt? What's happened? Looks at... So she looks over at party. Now, of course, Skyrim being a one-player game, as obviously you look at one. And who are these people? And who are these people? Some of your comrades. Not comrades yet. but friends. I owe them my life. In fact, is there somewhere we can talk? There's no telling when the news from Helgen will reach the Imperials. Helgen, has something happened? You're right. Follow me. Hard, come here a minute. I need your help with something. What is it, woman? Sven drunk on the job again. Just come here. What are you doing here? I'll be right down. Frodnar, Uncle Roloff, can I see your axe? How many Imperials have you killed? Do you really know Ulfric Stormcloak? Go and watch the South Road. Find out, see if there's any Imperial soldiers coming. This one has talked to Ulfric. Look at you, almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining the fight yourself. That's right, don't worry, Uncle Roloff. I won't let the soldiers sneak up on you. And now Hod actually turns up. What's going on? Look, you two look pretty well done in. He's talking to the party, so he's looking at the party and goes, you lot look pretty well done in. Alright, Kelvin, thank you very much. Leave an alert, thank you very much. I can't remember the last time I slept, where to start. Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true, the Imperials ambushed. Right, so I'm going to remove this. I can't believe the last time I slept. I imagine that Ralof found somewhere to sleep. He may have even slept in the inn, but the party wouldn't have known because he got there before them and possibly found a room. The Imperials so where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago now. Yeah, we'll call it 2 days ago. We stopped at Helgen yesterday. It wasn't yesterday morning, it was just yesterday. Just don't forget, it only took an hour or so. It took about 6 hours. It could have been yesterday morning, actually. Because it took a time and then a short rest as well before heading to Riverwood in the evening. Thought it was all over, had us lined up for the headsman's block and ready to start chopping. The cowards, they wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then, but then, out of nowhere, a dragon attack. You don't mean in real life? I can hardly believe it. Myself, I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood? Nobody's come up the South Road today, as far as I know. So nobody's come up the South Road last night or this morning. Again, I have to play around with time a little bit, as far as I know. Good, maybe we can lay up for a while. I'd hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay. You and your friends are welcome to stay as long as you need. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Brayloff's is a friend of mine. To players, here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. There's something you can do for me, for all of us. We don't need that. We need to send word to Jarl Bulgriff to send whatever troops he can. Riverwood is defenceless. If you do that for me, I'll be in your debt. And that's pretty much what we did find out once we did actually talk to her. Even though we were asking how to get to Whiterun, even though we didn't know that we needed to get there. Thanks, sister. I knew I could count on you. I ought to get back to work before I missed. But did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric? Don't worry, I'm sure he made it out. But more, it would take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and show them where everything is. Help them drink up our mead. You mean? To Ralof, good luck, brother. I'll see you later. Don't worry about me. I know how to lay low. Thank you very much. Mind, one of our founders, Mr. T, will be doing a 24-hour stream on your channel for the charity Mind. Yes, Sunday the 20th of October. That's this Sunday at what is it? +1 GMT. When will you be starting that, Missy? And yes, if you want to show off your work, feel free, throw them in the tapestry. If you want to follow the link, you can put some work up on there. Anything you want, art, crafts, anything you want. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do actually is I am actually going to get rid of this line here because I don't want my party spending time in Gerda's house. There's no need for it. I mean, they know that they can come back to her house. 12 AM, 11 PM UK time until 12. Okay, so it's 12 AM UK +1 to 12 PM or 12 AM UK +1. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. We're going to remove that she's going to get rid of that, but we can keep the good luck brother. So let's just get rid of that, and then don't worry about me, I know how to lay low, which is perfect. So that is the conversation that my party are going to see. It's quite long, and over here you see this. If I move this, you can see that my pages. I've got 3 pages so far of these notes, and all my party have done is got to Riverwood, had a sleep, and have spoken to Gerda. So there is that. But what we can do now is we can go back to the internet and have a look. So this is the conversation with everyone here. Okay. We don't need to worry about her talking to Alfor because I haven't done that. We don't really need to worry about her talking to Hod because, you know, basically my party are now going to go off and possibly have a chat. But what we do now need to do is these here. These questions here is about what my players can talk to her about, and so I need to make a note of these. So again, I'm just going to copy and paste these here. Because of course my party could ask any one of these questions. What can you tell me about Riverwood? Whether they've got any supplies, we don't need to worry about that so much. But if they want to talk about supplies, they can talk to Alfor, and they'll find out that Alfor is a blacksmith. How do we get to Whiterun? And I can give them directions. What can you tell me about the Jarl? About whether he's... And this is the conversation I was having, all these things that I was clicking on. He's Lord of the Empire. Who's Elisif? Did Ulfric kill the High King? Is there no High King? And do you support the Stormcloak? So we can copy all of that. Okay, and we can come back to my notes, and I can write in here again to go bold and allow the players a moment to talk to Gerda as Hod and Ralof leave. And there. Okay, so now we can go back over to all of this, and we can now format it to go there. We can give it black text here, and so basically what I can do is I can keep these questions here. If they ask them about, you know, so what is this place, what is Riverwood, I can ask about that. This one is more about the case of is there anywhere we can buy supplies? I don't want the party just taking things off of NPCs. It just doesn't seem. It just seems weird. We have. How do we get to Whiterun from here? That would be pretty obvious. What can you tell me about the Jarl? Is Balgruuf loyal to the Empire? Who is Elisif? Did Ulfric kill the High King? And so on. We can do that. We can do that. We can do all sorts of this just to format it so I can read it a bit better. In fact, actually, I'll probably do the same thing here, here, and here, and there. So there we go. So those are the sorts of things that my party can ask. I do also, and I really wish I knew where I'd put my, hang on a sec, where did I put my, here it is. So, I'm going to put this on so I can hear the music. As always, I have my desk view up here as well. And if you remember last week, I was creating NPC character sheets. I do have one for Gerda as well, which is great. And over here in my role-playing information, Gerda is a Nord lumberjack residing in the town of Riverwood. She and her husband, Hod, work and operate Riverwood's lumber mill. They have a son, Frodnar. She is the de facto leader of the village. If her brother Stormcloak, her brother Rayloff, a Stormcloak, is followed while escaping Helgen, she will help the party by giving them a key to her house and offering them supplies. Also, if she dies, the party will receive a letter of inheritance. She fully supports Ulfric's claim to being the High King of Skyrim and will scold anyone who tries to convince her otherwise. Other than that, she is just a simple commoner from the Monster Manual. Or is it the Monster Manual? I think it's the Monster Manual. So I do have a little list here for her as well, so I can have a look at that. If the players decide to start asking questions that is a bit off script, I have a few information bits that I can kind of come back to if I need to kind of reiterate and give myself a little bit of inspiration. Also, you notice that she did also talk about, that's what I wanted, she did mention about the shop, the Riverwood Trader, being robbed. So if I come back to the internet page here, there is also quotes. We have, where have we got? Are you new to Riverwood? We're a small village. Lucan over in the Riverwood Trader says thieves broke into his store. Strange, he said they hardly took anything. Again, we can copy this out. Okay. We can, and what we can do is if the party asks for any news around town or anything they can do to help around town, Gerda will mention, and we can copy that in. You can't see it because for some reason it copies it as grey. So there we are. So we can, you know, if the party asks for anything, and this is what I'm saying about giving my party the opportunity to feel that they're in control. If my party feel that they want to be helpful around town, or if they want to do anything before they head straight off to Whiterun, they can do that. And not forgetting that further up the notes, we have, after the roleplay, is Lucan from the Riverwood Trader was broken into. This is something that if the players talk to Ragnar about rumours, I can roll a d4 and I can find that if I rolled a 3 on that, Lucan from the Riverwood Trader was broken into, but strangely enough nothing much was taken. Now this will theoretically, now what I can do is I could remove this. I could decide, if my party seemed to be really on the ball about asking every NPC for information, talking to them and just generally talking about anything with them, I could perhaps take a risk and actually only roll 1, 2 and 4 and re-roll a 3 when they do this, because that way if I know that they're going to ask, Gerda will give them the information about Lucan as well. So there's that. And also what we can do now is go back into the game, because what we can also do once it loads up on my end is we can look around. We have Faendal here. We'll talk to him in just a moment.
Any way I can.
We've got Sven over here. We have some old lady sitting on a porch. Who's this?
You look sick. I hope it's not contagious.
Am I sick? Have I picked something up? Let me have a look. Huh, I have rock joint. Well, that's helpful. Thanks, love.
Did you hear? The Riverwood trader was robbed. Poor Lucan must be torn to pieces over it.
There we go. There's again another talk about him being robbed. And this is from Hilda.
But I tell you, I saw a dragon.
There we go. So we got some crazy old ladies. So what we can do is we can come back to my computer view here. And what we can do is we can go as the party moves around Riverwood. They can see a few people going about their daily lives. And we can come over to the internet and we can have a look at Hilda. I think it's Hilda, is that how it's said? I don't know, maybe. Let's bring this up. Here she is. Hilda is an elderly Nord who lives in Riverwood. She is the mother of Sven, Riverwood's local bard.
By sure, what do you want?
Well, okay. When the Dragonborn enters Riverwood for the first time, she will be panicking, claiming that she saw a dragon. Sven attempts to calm her down, but he is unsuccessful. I'm not sure when this is. Has my son Sven asked to join the war? Not this again. If he does, tell him how bad the food is and how dangerous it is. Look, old woman, if your boy wants to learn how to fight, we'll teach him. Now off with you. Yeah. Sigrid, it seems like Dorth grows a head taller every season. I can't remember who Sigrid is. I think that's Alvor's wife. A dragon. I saw a dragon. What is it now, mother? It was as big as a mountain and black as night, and it flew right over the barrow. Dragons now, is it? Please, mother, if you keep on this, everyone in town will think you're crazy, and I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies. You'll see, it was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me. So what I can do actually is, what's really interesting is I can use this as a way for, as a hook for my pie to talk to her and also to talk to Sven, because another spoiler is that there is a love triangle between Sven, Felderwind or whatever his name is, and the girl from the Riverwood trader. So an elderly woman is talking rather panically with a younger man. And again, copy that in. We could turn that black, and there we go. That is that. And then obviously the party could decide to ignore it, or they could decide to step in and talk to Hilda about the fact that they fought the dragon and she's telling the truth and they believe her, and what they can do about that. So if the party wants to talk to her about the dragon, she will seem relieved that someone believes her, but Sven will protest that they shouldn't encourage her crazy ideas. Okay. If they talk to her, she will also divulge that Lucan has been robbed and he must feel terrible about it. There we are. Nice and simple. That's another story hook about Lucan being robbed. So there are plenty of people talking around town about Lucan being robbed, about how, you know, it could be a thing that they need to deal with. But also we'll introduce the party to Sven, so that they can talk to Sven himself, which I will now do as well. So we can go back to the gameplay, and we can have a look to see what Sven has to say.
But it's my boy Sven you need to listen to. He sings at the inn most every night. Sven has the voice of a snowlark.
Okay,
Only
so
good thing
let's
he
go and
got
find
was
Sven.
his father.
Feindal thinks he can do Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him. You look like a traveler. Someone that has seen faraway places and heard new stories.
So this is about Feindal. Let me just write this guy's name. I will figure out a way to put this in naturally rather than just him just randomly saying it as they walk past. That's how Skyrim deals with story hooks, is somebody would just talk about it.
Truly. So maybe my mother isn't crazy after all. You had best tell the Jarl in Whiterun. He needs to know about this.
Again, so Sven will encourage us to go to Whiterun. Is there somewhere I could buy fresh supplies? Of course.
Lucan's got a little bit of everything at the Riverwood Trader. If you need weapons or armor, see Alvor, the blacksmith.
He doesn't mention Lucan has been robbed. Now, let's listen to this.
Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood Trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time.
Okay. So we can. I hope that I can find this conversation elsewhere to find out what the other things are that he can say. But
You may be right. Camilla may see Feindal as little more than a friend, but why take chances? Here, give Camilla this letter. It's full of venomous nonsense. Tell her it's from Feindal.
there we are. Okay. All right.
Then.
This is interesting. Okay, so now I don't know what I'm going to do. So now I need to have a look at. Let's have a look to see if I can find Sven on the internet, because this is going to be really interesting. So, hopefully the party will also want to talk to Sven. They can tell him about the dragon. Now, again, if you notice that my players have not had to roll anything for a long time, apart from the fight with the wolves. So, what I'm going to do on here is players love to roll dice. That's why they play D&D. So, and they can convince him of it being true on a DC 5 persuasion check. It's not difficult, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, the guys are going to be covered in armor. They're, you know, a band of adventurers. He is going to believe them, but I just want my players to roll dice. They want to do it, so they can do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I always look for ways of getting them just to roll a dice and just make this check, make that check, make the other check. Even if they're automatically going to pass it, keep putting it into my head, keep reminding myself, roll a dice, roll a dice. That's what I want to do. You know, players do not want to sit there and just listen to a story, because if they wanted to do that, they would tell a story. Instead, they want dice to decide what can and can't happen. It's just that I, as a DM, can decide just how easy that is actually going to happen. Likewise, we can also go to the internet and see if we can find Sven. We can also have a look here. If the Dragonborn is caught stealing from her house, helps Feindel gain Camilla Valerius' favour, or kills Sven, she may send a group of hired thugs after them. That's going to be interesting later on. If Sven has a follower and the Dragonborn starts killing citizens, he will refuse to attack Hild. If Sven is a follower, Hild may give the Dragonborn a gift randomly if her son was helped with his romantic troubles in his favour. She does not do so if Feindel was helped instead. Which is interesting because, I mean, to be honest with you, when the very first time you see Sven, he just says, "Here, this is a letter that I want you to give to her," and it's just him being a snake, basically. No, that was wrong. I wanted Sven. There we go. Sven is a Nordbard who lives in Riverwood with his mother, Hild. Sven can generally be found inside the Sleeping Giant Inn playing his lute since he is a graduate from the Bard's College. A lovely letter. Sven is competing with Feindel for the heart of Camilla Valerius and asks if the Dragonborn to sway things in his favour. So, that's fairly standard stuff. Combat, alchemy and enchanting, smithing. His secondary skills are archery, one-handed, two-handed. He benefits from light. Now this obviously is if you have him as a follower. I don't think my players are going to have him as a follower because it's, quite frankly, it just doesn't, it doesn't need it. He saw a dragon. Sven can no longer be recruited if the Dragonborn attacks Riverwood. What's going on here? If he's currently a follower, refuse to rejoin after he's dismissed. Sven was supposed to have another dialogue option. So we don't need to worry about that. Voice, there's a rare chance that Sven might say, "I got this for you, it's nothing big, but I hope you like it. I want to know to appreciate your friendship." Okay. Okay, well this is a shame because I don't have his, actually no, we could probably find it on this actually, a lovely letter. Deliver Feindel's letter to Camilla, talk to Sven, tell Sven about Feindel's letter, talk to Feindel/Sven. So, either by talking to Feindel, the bossma, or talking to Sven, which we're just talking to Sven. Both men will ask the Dragonborn to deliver a false letter, supposedly written by the other rival to Camilla who lives in the Riverwood Trader. Depending on whether you speak to Sven or Feindel first, there will be several options to help either of the two men win over Camilla's affection, with each path having 3 possible solutions. So helping Sven, the same pattern as above applies here as well. So the first solution is lie to Camilla by telling her the letter came from Feindel. Sven will reward the Dragonborn with 25 gold. Second solution, start the same way as solution 1 under helping Feindel, but give Camilla the second letter. Since she doesn't know about the first letter, she will believe that Feindel was at fault. The outcome is the same as above. Tell Camilla the truth about Feindel's false letter and him trying to incriminate Sven. The Dragonborn will receive the same reward. Both Feindel and Sven can be pickpocketed for the letters, and both can be given to Camilla either way, either via lying that each was from the other, or by telling her the truth. She will offer no unique dialogue in either case. If lied to, she will now hate both men, and if told the truth about the letters, she will simply ask the Dragonborn to go talk to both men for defending their honours. Either way, the player will now be tasked with returning to both men. The man spoken to first can still be told that Camilla will not be spending time with the other and receive his services as a reward. The second man will remain angry with the Dragonborn. So this is going to be quite a complicated one for me to put into effect actually, because I don't know what my party's going to do. They could go one way or the other, and there's just no way of being able to tell which is which. So what we can do is, I think, we can choose deliver Sven. So what we're going to do, the quest is still possible to complete if Camilla is the Dragonborn's wife. It is not possible to complete the quest in a manner that will allow for both Fendel and Sven to be a follower or both have positive dispositions towards the player. That's interesting because obviously, they have to make a choice. As a follower, Fandel's inventory can be accessed to recover any gold spent on archery training. That's interesting for gameplay. Whoever the Dragonborn help becomes available as a follower, offering assistance. Fandel doubles as a level 50 archery trainer. If the Dragonborn kills either Fendel or Sven after completing the quest, the one still alive will have a letter delivered by courier stating he knows what you did and that he will not tell anyone. If Camilla is married to the Dragonborn after the quest is completed and the Dragonborn then kills either Fendel or Sven, a courier may deliver a letter from Camilla indicating that she knows what you did and is happy he is gone. Well, that's interesting. Alright, so what we need to do is I need to figure out a way to actually put this into gameplay, because this is going to be quite a complicated thing. So let me have a look at the letter first that was given to the players. When it loads up, is it going to load up? There we go. Okay. So let's have a look at the inventory. That way. Sven's fake letter from Feyendal. Dear Camilla, I know I've called upon you at your house many times, and while we may be growing close, I need you to put any desires you may have for me aside. I am a true-born son of Valenwood, and I would never befoul my bloodline by courting an Imperial. I hope we can remain true friends, provided you understand your people's place in the Old Merry Dominion, and respect me as such. Sincerely, Feyendal. So that's a pretty crap letter. So what we can do as well is...
That letter ought to convince Camilla to never speak to Feyendal ever again.
Well, I mean, you're a bit of a snake, to be honest. Let's have a look, because I know that Feyendal was over here. Well, he was. There he is. Let's see what he's got to offer.
Greetings, Brother Elf. Good to see a familiar face so far from home. Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village.
I'll tell you what I want to do is, just in case I lose this letter. See, the thing is, because I'm playing this through, I need to make sure that I don't lose anything. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to write this down now. I've got a piece of paper here. What is this for? Okay, I don't want to be writing on that. That's something important. So let me find a... Yeah, that's not going to work. Let me grab a piece of paper. And I'm going to write down, actually physically, so that I can remember this. I would love to copy and paste this onto a Word document, but I can't, so I'm going to have to write it out, and I didn't see a copy of the letter. Actually, you know what I might be able to do? Actually, before I do that, let's have a look to see if I can find... Now, this is why I've been doing this on this stream as well, so you can see. So, Sven's false... Oh no, Sven's... I saw that then. Sven's fake letter from Feyendal. Here, oh, look at this. It's written here. Look at there. Here we go. Contents. I know I've called it. There we go. This is what I want. Oh. So we can copy this. Now, of course, don't forget this. A new text document. Because look at this. This is going to be brilliant. Look at that. Let us now copy that. We need to put it in black. We now just need to sort out some of this here we go. So now it's written down. This is why the internet is an amazing place, is I can find all of this. Let's pop that over here. Let's make this a little smaller, because now what I can actually do is I can actually... Oops, I did that wrong, didn't I? I want to move that there. There we go. Let's give it a different font. Let's have a look to see if we can find... Whoops. Let's... Oh dear, no, we don't want that. Nope, didn't want that. No, that is not what we wanted. Have a look at that. That just looks terrible, doesn't it? That's terrible. That's not a nice handwriting. Let's also make it bigger. Too big. Whoops. There we go. Right, let's see if we can change that font a bit so that it looks a bit nicer. Something a little bit... Nope. Now why is that weird? Why has that gone weird? There we go. So that there is the letter, which is helpful. There we go. There. Alright, so we can save that. That is the letter from what's it. So now I've got that saved, I can now go back to the game. So we can see if we can find out what that letter from Faendal will look like.
There's beauty here unmatched in all of Skyrim. What is that blowhard up to now? So, he thinks he can turn Camilla against me. Two can play at this. Here, give this letter to Camilla and tell her it's from Sven. Let's see what she thinks of him after reading that.
Yeah, there we go. So I've just lost Sven's fake letter from Faendal. But I do now have books. I now have Faendal's fake letter. My dearest Camilla, I yearn to have you as my own, washing my linens and my fine blonde hair, to cook my dinner from my stove, and tend to my house while I wander. Yours truly, Sven. How delightful. So both of these guys are pigs, really. So what we can do now is I should be able to... Oh, that was my computer deciding that it can't cope with playing the game and streaming at the same time, as always. Even though it's been doing it for the last hour. When it comes back. There we go.
Maybe you've already met Camilla.
I should be back now. So what we can do now is this is... Do we tell him?
You look like a traveler. Someone that is... You should come hear me play at the Sleeping Giant
No, I
Inn.
can't tell him.
For a small sum, you can even pick the song.
And now we can go to the Riverwood Trader.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
And there we go. And technically, even if my players never even decide to hear about his break-in, just by going here, they can find out about it. But we want to talk to Camilla.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
So I'm going to tell the truth here.
You what? What are you talking about? Why, that jealous idiot. Thought he could just manipulate me into never seeing Sven again? Thank you for telling me the truth. You should speak to Sven. I'm sure he'll want to thank you too for defending his name. Until next time. You're not from around here. That makes two of us.
Hopefully I haven't balls this up, because I wanted to,
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
Yes, you did, love.
What? What is it now, Mother? That letter ought to convince Camilla to never speak to Faendal ever again.
Oh, damn it. I did it wrong, but never mind.
Now that's what I like to hear. Good work. I think you deserve some gold from my tips at the inn.
It was as
Until
big
next
as a
time.
mountain and black as
Alright,
night.
so hopefully they're actually going to do this a bit better, because I don't like the way that this works, because in Skyrim it basically says you can only tell
Maybe
one or
you
the
could
other.
talk some sense. I came here from the... It got
Yeah.
bad back...
You can only tell her that, you know, whichever one you've got on you is the one that's being, who's being a pig, rather than both of them. So I'm hoping my players won't do that. So let us go back to computer view and let's see if we can figure a way of doing this. I want to add a new document, a new text document. We will see if we can find, what am I looking for here? So what I'm looking for is, see also Feanor's fake letter from Sven, which also has, dearest Camilla, I yearn to have you as my own, yada yada yada, you're all pigs, get over it. So what we want to do is open this up and paste it there. And we want to make it black. And we can change the type hopefully to something was it Balthazar? Yeah, Balthazar I believe. Put it in the middle. He's a bard, so he'd probably write it as if he was writing a song. There we are. Let's make that a little bigger. And again, like Calvin has already so kindly shared in the chat, I will probably make these into little parchment type things as well, much like the bounty. But yeah, so now we have both Feanor's fake letter, which I can now save this. Let's save as, when it opens up, my computer's running a little slow right now. How do I write Feanor? I don't know how to write Feanor. There we go. We can call this Feanor's fake letter from Sven. And I can now close that just to save some of my computer issues, and we can open up that, save that as. I need to change some formatting here anyway, but this is Sven's fake letter from Feanor. Okay, and we can close that as well, and bring up my here, and Sven will also ask if the party will help him with a little love trouble he's having. He will explain that he thinks that a local wood elf archer is giving him some competition for the heart of Camilla. Oh, I can't remember what her name is. Let's see if we can find her name written down somewhere. There we go, that's what we're looking for. I could just copy that, to be honest. Whoops. I don't need to remember it. I'll just copy it because I'm lazy. There we go. Whoa, that's massive. So we want it black. It'd probably been easier just to remember what it said. Call it Times New Roman, is it? I don't know. There we go. gives the party, whoops, I don't want that in bold, gives the party a fake letter from the elf. Pando to control to give to Camilla to stitch him up in eyes. Likewise, the party can go to Vandal and tell him what's going on. Maybe the party wants to see his side of the things, or follow through with the stitch up. I want to put that as that. There we are. If the party goes to Fandal, he will also give them a letter to stitch up Sven. Depending on what the party does before seeing Camilla, the party can either turn her against both men, to which she will be grateful to the party for, or set her up with one of the men, to which Camilla, whoops, and the man will be grateful, leaving the scorned man to hate the party. There we are. It's not going to be too difficult, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be more roleplay heavy on that one. It's kind of one of those things that I am going to have to kind of improv my way through it, see how the party decide to do it, see what they want to do, and in terms of seeing how it all plays out. We'll have to see. I do have a lot of formatting to do here, because the party could do some of this in almost any order they can. They could completely skip talking to Sven and his mother, in which case they will miss this entire section here, wherever it is, here. They will skip that entire section. They might not. We'll have to see how it goes. I do need to make a character sheet for Camilla, and I will make a character sheet for Fendel as well as for Sven. So we will see how that one works. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to play out, but we do have some more. The party, if the party heads to the Riverwood Trader, they will overhear a conversation. I am still in cap locks, and that's not very good. They will overhear a conversation coming from a back room enter. This is where we go back to the internet and we can pick up the conversation. Hopefully we can find this here. I don't think so. So a bucket to what a customer is asking. Okay, that's talking about the shop. So it's this one here. And they will hear this here, which is basically what we heard as we entered the store. And it will go something like that. Which also needs to be black. How many pages have we got? We've got 5 pages of notes for this session so far, and we're still only half of the way through it. I will need to see if I can figure out how long, and if anybody's wondering about how to figure out how long a session's going to be, you guess. That's basically the best thing I can say. There's a lot of talking. I think this game is going to be a lot of roleplay, and I do not think, even if the party decide to head straight to Whiterun as opposed to doing this side quest, which is the Golden Claw, I don't think they're going to get far past getting to Whiterun or even getting to Bleak Falls Barrow. We're going to have to see about that one. We'll see what happens. Notices the party has come in. Welcome, Arcanol Madness. Thank you very much for coming. Players proceed to place buckets in the Riverwood Trader head and start taking his stuff. That doesn't work in D&D. So, we have this so far. So, let us get back into it and let us have a chat about his Golden Claw. Where's the game? There it is. Let's have a word with him, shall we? When it loads up. My computer is literally having an absolute... Yeah, it's really struggling with it right now. Hang on a second. Let's see if we've got something going wrong here. Alright. Let's bring it back up again. See what happens. It stopped working. Right, okay. You guys can see it at home. I can't see it on my screen. It's completely stopped working. So let me have a look. Let's get rid of that. Let's kill some of these things here. Skyrim sometimes crashes when you tab. Yeah, unfortunately it's the only way I can do it. So hopefully, let's see if we can bring it back. Because I haven't saved it recently either. It should have auto-saved, which is great, so I can close it if I need to. So, yeah, let's... It's crashed. So what we're going to do is we're going to close Skyrim. There we go. Sound's all gone now. And let's see if we can bring it up again. There. Hopefully it's auto-saved, but we don't really need to worry actually, we can just go through it. And if we do start back at the letters, we can do it a different way and see if we can figure that one out. Maybe go straight to Camilla and see what happens after Sven gives us a letter. That's if I can bring Skyrim back up, because otherwise, yeah, this is going to be terrible. But what we can do... Yeah, I will. I'm going to blame you for the tech issues, because you're the one who curses me with tech issues. You're the one who started the tech issues. It was your fault yesterday. So we're going to try and launch Skyrim, but for now we will come back here and we will have a look at the Golden Claw. There we go, this one. Well, I did finish making my first homebrew spell recently. Oh, fantastic. Well, while we wait, why don't you tell us about your homebrew spell? I'd love to hear it. I do need to start working on shouts, but I will get to that as and when I need to. So what's it for? I can link it if that's okay. I believe links work. Missy T is basically the runner of the channel, and she's the one who decides whether links are okay, and I do believe they will. I do believe they will work. So while we're waiting, oh, here we go. Ah, excellent. Here we go. So let's bring up gameplay, and let's press the play button. I love this sound though. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, there we go. It's Wisebot decided no, wasn't going to happen that. But I think Missy T should be able to allow it. If it's a D&D Beyond spell, I don't see why not. Yeah, basically it's Wisebot has just said nope, not having that. But I would allow it myself, but you know, tabbing doesn't work very well. Actually, I might be able to bring it up here. My computer is now having another spares, which isn't great. Okay, well, I can hear the music. There we go, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. Computer, here we go, let's have a look at this. Aiden's Annihilating Arc. A web of electrical energy surrounds your body, surging outwards and detonating in a sphere around you. Each creature within 30 feet of you must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 8d6 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Additionally, each target within 10 feet of a creature that failed their initial saving throw must make a dex saving throw, taking 4d4 lightning damage on a failed save, or as half as much on a successful one. A creature can only suffer this additional damage once per casting. The caster is immune to any damage from this spell, but gains a level of exhaustion. Oh, nice. A handful of steel wool, I like it. 3rd level. Oh wow, that's really cool. I like that. That's a nasty spell, and I love the added exhaustion to that. So you're not just going to start casting it, casting it, and casting it. That's amazing. I like that. That's really clever. That's pretty good. I like that. I really like that. Alright, so let's see if this will work. I don't know what's happening here. It's suddenly decided it doesn't want to work for me now. So it will allow me to do stuff. Feel free to use it if you want. Some playtesting and feedback on spell page is most welcome. I might get a chance to, but I wouldn't. I won't promise to, because firstly, I don't have many magic casters, because all of my players are brand new. But that being said, there's nothing saying that perhaps later on in our Meeple Palace Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign, that it could be used. That would be up to Many More Games, who's our GM for that game. He may decide to throw in throw in something like that. But I don't have many spellcasters, to be honest, because they're new players and they don't tend to want to be throwing magic around too much. What I'm going to do though is, for some reason, this is not working properly. My computer is bugged. Really not wanting to play ball right now. Yes, and join the Discord for the Meeple Palace as well. Thank you, Missy. It's great having Missy in the chat because I'm trying to concentrate on doing this. And Missy throws up these things that prompts me to talk about them. Join the Discord, where we all chill, chat, and enjoy all things Dungeons and Dragons. We enjoy things board games, and we also enjoy things game-wise, and basically nerd heaven. I'm having a real problem getting Skyrim to load back up, which is a real problem. So what are we going to do here is we are going to have to close Skyrim again. This has been very problematic tonight. So it's a shame, but what we might have to do is we might just have to do it the old-fashioned way and read a book or read the internet, because basically when the Riverwood trader is entered, Lucan and Camilla Valerius are in a heated argument about whether or not a valuable item was recently been stolen from their shop should be retrieved. Upon inquiry, it is learned that the Golden Claw has been stolen from the shop by bandits. More curious yet is the fact that the claw is the only item stolen, despite the numerous other valuable items in the shop which are worth just as much gold. The bandits are thought to be holed up in Bleak Falls Barrow, which again is in my session 1 notes. Note at the beginning of session 2 notes, it was stated, if we go all the way back up to here, is that on a history DC 20 check, the random ancient structure that they could see to the northwest was indeed Bleak Falls Barrow. So a lucky roll or a particularly decent history check will allow you to kind of connect those dots, whereas if they don't know that until now, basically when they get to this point they were like, oh yeah, that's that place, we already saw it, almost as if the DM knew what he was talking about. But so what we can do is have a look here. Bleak Falls Barrow can be found by following the path Camilla lays out up the mountain to the west of Riverwood. Several bandits are found guarding the entrance, as well as 2 bandits inside who can be overheard talking about someone called Arvel, who seems to have gone ahead of the rest of the group. We don't need to worry about this too much. We know who Arvel is. We'll find him later on, but I really want to be playing through it until then. But I don't think my party are going to get to that point. We need to. What I do want to do is see if I can find Lucan and see if we can find the chat that we have with him. My system, did something happen? Yes, we had a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing, an ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. I can help you get the claw back. You could. I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. If you're going after those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of town. After finding the claw, the following option becomes available. I found the golden claw. You found it. Ha ha ha. There it is. Strange, it seems smaller than I remembered. Funny thing, huh? I'm going to put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister. I better go back to cleaning the store. What a mess. So we can have a look at the quotes here. Damn thieves, things weren't bad enough. I better get back to cleaning the store. What a mess. I don't know what you overheard, but Riverwood Trader is still open. Feel free to shop. Thanks so much for taking care of those thieves. So he doesn't really say a huge amount, and I might have to improvise a lot of this. This is the opening argument. So this is your plan, Lucan. Yes. So now don't have to go, do... Oh, so no, you don't have to go, do you? Oh, really? Well, I think your new help here needs a guide. I'll buy the 8-5, but only to the edge of town. We don't need to worry about new customers. This is what I was looking at earlier again, about whether they should do about the store, but I don't think my players really need to worry about any of that. It's this conversation here that we need to talk about, the guide, and about what happened with the Golden Claw going missing. So Lucius' Golden Claw has been stolen by Arvol the Swift. Arvol stole the Golden Claw to access Bleakfall's Barrow. If Lucan dies, however, his sister sends the Dragonborn to retrieve it instead. So, it really bugs me, these adverts. Right, so we need to... what was the first thing he said? I don't know what you overheard, but the river trader is open. Feel free to shop. So we need to do this, and we need to... it's grey because it's copied from Wikipedia. So we need to do that, and then we can then copy and paste the conversation here. We don't need to worry about that, whether something has happened to them, as well as we need to do this. We can mess around with some of the formatting just so that I can keep track of everything that's being said. So there we go. That's that. And then obviously, if the party wishes to buy anything, they have access to all items in the player's handbook for guide prices. And I do want to know, actually, I do have the Dungeon Master's Guide here as well on PDF form. I don't know what page things like healing spells are, healing potions are. Let's have a look to see if I can find it in the contents. Running the game, oh, where is it? Is it on the PHP? Is it in the DMG? Creating a multiverse, settlements, linking adventures, campaign tracking, recurring expenses, downtime activities. We don't need recurring expenses. Adventure environment, dungeons, mapping in the wilderness, mapping settlements, mapping a settlement, urban encounters. 1114? I don't think so. We are looking for social interaction. Maybe that's what it is. Social interactions. Let's have a look. Page 244. Let's have a look. Where are we? Page 244, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be a little bit after that because it's PDF format. Resolving interactions, social interactions, conversation, reaction, objects. Nope. Oh well, we'll figure that out. Basically, is what I'm going to put in here as well as PHP guide prices, as well as a handful of healing potions. While I'm not on stream, I'll have a look at that later on and see if I can find prices and so on for that. I need to get into DMing a bit more. So I do want to see if I can get. You know what I do need to do? Hang on a minute. I need to see if I can close down. I need to close down the Skyrim, so let me have a look at this. Skyrim is not responding, so we'll close that. And see if I can bring it back up again. This doesn't normally happen. Usually, in the 4 shows that I've done so far, it's usually pretty smooth. So I'm not sure what's going on this time. But we've closed it and we'll restart it and see what happens here. Well, it's working on my screen now, which is helpful. Although it does look like my screen has froze. Can you all still hear me okay? I'm wondering about if my mic is still getting picked up. Oh, look at that. We are still in the store. So there we go.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig head. I came here from the Imperial Province.
Right, so let's talk to him here.
Well, I don't know. The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store. Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in. We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back.
There we go. So that's basically everything you've just done.
Thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northwest of town.
So this is your plan, Lucan?
Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
No, by the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
There we are. So I didn't put that bit in the chat about the fact that Camilla wants to guide us, or guide the party, which I will do, of course, add that to the end. Where do you want to go, love? Come on. Which way? Do you have anything to say?
We have to go through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Okay.
You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings.
There we go, look at that. Which you've already seen.
Those thieves must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Give the party an idea about what they need to cope with.
I wonder why they only stole Lucan's golden claw. I mean, we have plenty of things in the shop that are worth just as much coin. Lucan found the claw about a year after he opened the store. He never quite explained where he got it. He's a tricky one.
It's a shame about following NPCs though, because they're so slow. There we go. Nope. Yeah, I'm still here, love. Come on, keep walking. Come on. Come on. Keep it going. I've got a show to run here.
This is the bridge out of town. The path up the mountain to the northwest leads to Bleak Falls Barrow. I guess I should get back to my brother. He'll throw a fit if I take too long. Such a child.
Alright, excellent. So the bridge leading up to the mountain to Bleak Falls Barrow. So let's just recap what we've got so far in terms of this game. Let me just quickly throw in the chat about this. We can copy that into here, so we can do that. Camilla will guide the party through the north end of town and direct them across the bridge and tell them how to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. What we can try and do is see if I can find some of that information she was talking to about what her brother is like. So this is your plan. We don't sell sealed buckets. Luke and I was thinking about having that. Heart, that's what she was talking. It means so much to us to have the claw back where it belongs. Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother. She didn't really say anything about. It doesn't actually write down here, so we could. I could try and make some stuff up because I don't need it to be perfect. We can have a look at the. You added to the tapestry. Well, I might have to actually have a look at that in a minute. Before I end the stream. What we can do is see if I can find some talk. We can't really find any talk, so I am going to have to just make that up. So there we go. So we can have a look. Alright, thank you. We don't need that. Thank you. We just, no. Oh, I just opened up the wrong thing. Hang on. I opened up the wrong thing. I didn't mean to do that. Right, so let's have a look at what we have for session number 2 so far. Now, I don't even have any of the music here. I haven't got all of the NPCs here. I still need to add Lucan, Camilla, Sven, and Hilda, as well as, and I can never remember how to spell his name, Vendal. Now these people here, I still need to create NPC character sheets for, which I will do off stream. You saw me do it last week, and I might do it again in the future, but there's a lot to be going through, so I'm not going to do it on stream today. We have Riverwoods, we have the Sleepy Giant Inn where the party rest, we have the blacksmith should they decide to go to him, which we need to do that as well. Go to him and have a chat with him, see what he's like. The Riverwood Lumber Mill, which we've already done, and the Riverwood Trader. So, when we start the game, now obviously normally what I will do is last we left off. This is something that I will do. I need to write this in, and that will depend on what my players do this Saturday. So what we might do is, even if when we've done this recap, I think, yeah, that's enough for session 2. When I start the show next Thursday, we will probably end up filling that in, where I will tell you what my party did in session number 1. So that's how you can kind of keep up with the campaign, that it's going as it's going. So we have the locations. So the party have been left to partake in a short rest while their ally leaves them, heading to the small village of Riverwood. If you remember, at the end of session 1, I've given my party a chance for a short rest because they did have 3 combat encounters when they are level 1. So I do not know how they are going to cope with that. They will probably pick up some health potions along the way, but yeah, they're going to need a short rest. And I explained that the region directly outside the cave, exit to Helgen, could let's get rid of that K, could best be described as mountainous, with many foothills of the surrounding mountains surrounding them. There are many pine trees dotting the landscape, and a single winding track leads down into the valley. Off to the north by northwest, a large, seemingly ancient structure juts out from a nearby mountainside, which again is, like I mentioned earlier, with a history check of 20, which is going to be very, very hard, they will know that it's Bleak Falls Barrow. They won't really know much about it, they will just know its name. After about 3 hours of travel, the track takes a steep decline into the base of the valley. Here the path meets the fast-flowing White River and turns sharply to the left. 3 wolves are trying to sneak up on the party, with them rolling a stealth check contested against the party's passive wisdom. If the party does not see them, then the wolves will get a surprise attack round. If the party sees them, we roll initiative against 3 wolves. Now again, I don't know how long this battle is going to last. It might take, half an hour to an hour maybe. I don't know, we'll see how they work out. From there, they're following the path for another few hours to the small village of Riverwood comes into view. There aren't much in the ways of defences, just a small wall, how many L's do I need in the word small? Wall built across the road with what appears to be a simple guard gantry overhead. For anyone whom happens to be watching the trail gets advantage of the road. In other words, there aren't any guards here. It's it's only just night time, but there won't be any guards that they have to deal with. The businesses, upon arriving in Riverwood, seem to be closed as the sun has now set, just as the party has arrived in town. To the north end of town you can see the Riverwood lumber mill. If the party have Rayloff as an ally, they know that Gerda, his sister, owns and operates from here, and this is where they can find her in the morning. Just inside the village gates, the blacksmith has a workshop, seemingly attached to his house. If the party has Hadvar as an ally, they would know that Alvor and Sigrid are his aunt and uncle, whom live and work here. Opposite the blacksmith seems to be the town's general goods store. The sign hanging from the building reads Riverwood Trader. The door is locked and no one seems to be home. Further down into Riverwood, an inn appears to be in full operation, with the sounds of talking and merriment can be heard. This is the Sleeping Giant Inn. So what we've done here, we could have spent an hour into the game. I keep the games roughly to a 4-hour limit. So we're currently an hour into it maybe. After talking, as well as the battle with the wolves, and just general kind of talking, and maybe the odds impromptu investigation check. We'll see how that works. As the players enter the inn, a young blonde calls out to the bartender, and we have the exchange between Delphine and Orgnar, whom obviously Delphine has a much bigger presence in the game later, but for now she's just a blonde barmaid called Delphine. So yeah, they have a little bit of a discussion just to bring the world alive, and Orgnar will see the party and welcome them in with his gruff but welcoming manner, and they can see Alvor having a drink if they know who he is. And in fact, they probably wouldn't know Alvor was having a drink actually, because they just see people having a drink and a few other patrons whom are enjoying the early evening. The party can get rooms for 5 silver piece per room. Orgnar points them to Delphine for the rooms, with a space for 2 party members per room should they wish to purchase them. And again, this is where we started this episode. Oh no, it's not where we started this episode today, but I do mention that I allow the players time to roleplay. This is the first time since I left Helgen for them to have complete range over what they want to do. So yeah, that's why we've got that there. If the players talk to Orgnar, he can give them rumours about the fact that a child in Windhelm is trying to contact the Dark Brotherhood. There's also a Shrine of Azura that looks like a tourist attraction. Maybe they want to go check it out. It probably won't come to anything, but it's one of those kind of red herring moments. There's a Shrine of Azura. It's a Shrine of Azura. Whatever. Lucan from the Riverwood Trader was broken into, but strangely enough, nothing much was taken. The very first time that they have the ability to find out about the Golden Claw mission, or that no one trusts the mages from the college up north. Gods only know what they get up to behind those closed doors, mentioning the wider area of Skyrim. And if they ask Orgnar if there's any work nearby, he can give them a bounty letter left by the Whiterun officials that passed by a couple of days ago, and that I give them a prop that I've already created. It was shared in the chat earlier on this evening, and I don't know how far back it might be. There we go. That's the. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can open this up. this is a prop that I created for my party, which is it's just a bounty, just something that my players can hold. It's to go to Whiterun. It's to go to Halted Stream Camp, which is north of Whiterun. So for them to be able to actually do this, they need to go all the way up past Whiterun. So they're not going to do it anytime soon, but it's something that one of the members of the party can stash in their notebooks, and it's a nice little thing for them to have a hold of, something to remember it by, rather than just a piece of paper, just a note in a notebook. So that's what that is there, but they'll only get it if they ask for work. And again, after the party has completed a long rest, allow the players time to role play with each other before heading out to the inn before the morning, into the morning sun. Likewise, it gives them a second opportunity to get any more information from Ugnar, should they want it. Once we've done that, if the players are struggling to decide what to do next, we gently remind them that Gerda is why they're in Riverwood in the first place. Maybe, hopefully, I do kind of want them to follow Ralof rather than Hadvar, just because I prefer it that way, but if they don't, and I might have to come back to this next week and just rechange a lot of this and rearrange it, which is the downside of trying to create a story as you go along from a story that already exists. So we'll have the big chat with Gerda, Ralof, as well as Hodge. Frodnar will turn up as well, about, you know, what happened in Helgen, and this is where they will also be told how to get to go to Whiterun in the first place. So allow the players a moment to talk to Gerda as Hod and Ralof leave, so that they can then ask her these questions. And again, right now I'm thinking I'm probably only maybe I might be pushing 2 hours into this game right now, so we'll have to see how that goes. Again, we'll talk about the Empire. Hopefully, maybe they might talk to her about it, about what she thinks about the war, and then hopefully, as the party moves around Riverwood, they can see a few people among their daily lives. They will get to see this. At this bit here, they will see it. It's going to happen. It's just a case of whether they do anything about it or not. We will have to see. Let me just separate that a little bit, actually, because there we go. That means I can, I can see it properly. So yeah, hopefully they'll stop and talk to that, and that could give them another reason to go to see Camilla, because they can deal with this this love triangle. And again, they'll get to actually get given specific notes and letters from each other. So there is that. So hopefully if they do that, that might give them another half an hour or so of gameplay. If they don't, then it's half an hour gone, and then they can go into the Riverwood Trader, where they can have a conversation with Camilla, Lucan. They can deal with the love triangle if they want to, and hopefully tie everything all up together, depending on how they decide to balance everything out. We'll see how it goes. As well as then Camilla will offer to guide them to Bleakfall's Barrow for the for that. Now, I think this game is possibly pushing somewhere in the region of around about, it might be pushing somewhere in the region of about 2 to 3 hours. So what would be really helpful is that if my party decide to go to Bleakfall's Barrow and try and see if they can get this golden claw back before they head to Whiterun. Now I'm hoping they are, because it's local, as opposed to going to Whiterun and then coming back to Bleakfall's Barrow. They will pick something up in Bleakfall's Barrow for them to take to Whiterun, which is great. It's going to be the Dragonstone, which will be fantastic, because first of all it means they're not going to feel that they have to keep going backwards and forwards like you tend to need to do in Skyrim. And of course this is D&D, there is no fast travel option. I mean, you do technically fast travel just by you get there without incident, but that's a boring game. So with that in mind, I think what I need to do is come up with one final fight. But looking at the time, it is now almost midnight my time, and I think that is where I will end tonight's show. So next week I will be back on Thursday, and I will tell you how session 1 went, and hopefully they've got Ralof as an ally, and we can finish this episode, these session notes for session 2 with a final fight, which we will end before they get to Bleak Falls Barrow. Hopefully, with any luck, that is how we will get on with it. So, there is a tapestry. If Missy T could be very kind to throw me up the tapestry link again, because I don't have it to hand, and we can have a look to see what you've got in the tapestry, which is going to be fantastic. I would also like to, I would say, I think it's, I would like to put up something of what my missus did while we are doing that. My wife threw up something. Let's have a look. You put a space in there, that's not helpful. Let me just throw up a completed project. That's something my wife did while I'm waiting to see that. Let's have a look. So this is something that my wife made for me. She's a crocheter, and she made a little thing for me, which is a cover for my chair. Let's have a look. Here it is. There we go. I didn't actually like it. There we go. Yeah, so she made me a chair, and I'm actually sitting on it right now. It's over here. It's very comfortable. It's a leather chair cover that my missus has made for me, which it's very comfortable, I will add. It's very, very comfortable. Let me bring up Missy T's thing here. What have we got here? Let's throw this up. Oh wow, I messed up. Oh, this is for Inktober, isn't it? Is this for Inktober? Oh yes, it's hashtagged Inktober. So let's have a look. I messed up. The sleeves being bunched up. Looks weird, so I'm catching up with Inktober. First time giving it a try, and only 17 more till I'm caught up now. Haha, that's fantastic. So as far as I'm aware, Inktober has a word, hasn't it, for each day of the October? And what was the word for this? That is very, very good though. I mean, the thing is, how do you often draw, or is it something do you dabble in, or what is it? Because I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, specifically one thing about clothing is difficult, but down here it looks fantastic, and I'm really proud of that. That looks really great. Yes, today day 1 was ring, and I see the ring there, which is definitely there. Yeah, that looks fantastic. That's fantastic. I really like that. That's brilliant. And I will say, if anybody else watching now or in the future, you can head over to the Google document, and you can throw up your art, you can throw up your makes, you can throw up your arty stuff. Anything you make, create, or just generally want to share with the community of fellow nerds and artists, feel free to follow the tapestry link in the chat up there. Or, well, I mean, you can copy it there, or if you're in the chat, you just follow the link. Anyway, jump on the tapestry and feel free to share your work on there. I do believe there was a link there in the past. I can't remember what this was. Oh look, there we go. It was actually in the tapestry. There we go. That was my. That was actually in the tapestry. You could have found it there. So yeah, that was the tapestry. Feel free to share your work. It's fantastic. Don't forget to join us on Discord as well, where you can have many chats with us. I will say thank you very much for joining me. It has been a pleasure getting this done together. I'm glad you guys can come along, and I hope that if you are a new DM, a big chance. If you're a new DM and the fear of creating a whole story all by yourself, hopefully this has kind of helped you along with a way of how you can create a story that's already done. The whole point of this is so that you can take any game, any movie, any TV show, and you can turn it into a D&D campaign just by adding some dice rolls to it. So I hope that's been a pleasure. I will let you guys know how my party do on next Thursday, when I will be back, same time, 10 PM UK time, until around about midnight. It's, and I could probably go on for a little bit longer, but I think a couple of hours is enough for me and my computer. So I will very happy for you to have joined me tonight. Don't forget to catch us again. I will be joining along with the rest of the Meeple Palace cast in Horde of the Dragon Queen tomorrow night from 9 PM UK time, I believe is when it is. So make sure you come back to the Meeple Palace and check out Horde of the Dragon Queen D&D 5th edition. And if you want to catch more of yours truly, you can follow me on twitch.tv/BasesofOperations, where I paint miniatures mostly currently for this D&D campaign. Actually, I will show it off here because I think it's kind of cool. This is a little house that I 3D printed, as well as I might pop up a few other bits and pieces. No, didn't want that one. A few other bits and pieces where I just paint and do things like that. So that's twitch.tv/BasesofOperations. I've chatted enough tonight, and I will say thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I will catch you next time. Alright guys, ta-ra.